Hello again and welcome to another Wake Vortex video. This time we are going to show off another artificial intelligence air traffic control program. We have already had a look at Beyond ATC, and this is the alternative right now, making a lot of news and a lot of people talking about this. Say Intentions, and this has been in the making for quite some time. It's now in very much early access, in fact pre-release beta is what they're calling it, with the IFR arrivals and approaches still in development and the ground handling still being tuned, although they're working on it very feverishly and making updates all the time. So I thought it'd be interesting to see how this one works in comparison to Beyond ATC. We're going to do a short flight in Asia, similar to what we did with Beyond ATC today, going from Phuket in Thailand to Bangkok, Don Muang Airport, so we can see how the app performs. So I'm not going to do too much talking about all the other apps in the cockpit. I've done all that on my previous videos, so let's just get things going here. Get the Phoenix underway. 17 minutes to go. Well, I think we may need slightly longer than that, so let's just give ourselves a little more time. Okay, that's good, and we will get our flight sim first officer beginning the cockpit prep flow. Let's get a few things sorted here in the cockpit while she does her pre-flight flow. Okay, so our flight today then, VTSP to VTBD, that's Phuket to Bangkok Don Muang Airport. Flight time should be about an hour. And so the first officer at the moment is just programming all the stuff up. Let's get our Navigraph chart sorted. We're on the ground here in Phuket. And let's have a look what we've been given today. An Egevi 1 Bravo from 27. Let's have a look. Egevi 1 Bravo, there it is. Put that on the departure charts. Going to be off runway 27, so I guess it's going to be here. Didn't see specifically the Egevi 1 Bravo there, so let's see how we get on with that. And in terms of the arrival, we've got Sabah 3 Alpha into 21 right. So 21 right, Sabah 3 Alpha, and the ILS Zulu 21 right. Let's add that to the route. So expecting runway 27, so it's going to be a taxi down Papa to the end, and 27 with the departure to the west. Alright, let's get Say Intentions cranked up here. It's got a VR panel which you can see here. The writing's a bit small. I've asked to try and change that, so we've got that in as a VR panel, which is very, very useful indeed actually. I do have it also brought into the cockpit here via Open Kneeboard, so you can see the actual app itself. So what we're going to do first of all is get in touch with ATIS, which is 128.0. Now we should have, there we are.
Dew point 26. QNH 1005. Arriving and departing runway 27. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery on 118.55. Advise on initial contact, you have information. Quebec. Phuket International Airport information. Quebec 1030 Zulu. Wind 280 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, view at 1500 feet. Temperature 28. Dew point 26. QNH 1005. Arriving and departing runway 27. Visual approaches in use.
Great.
Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following.
That's good. So we've got our information Quebec from Phuket ATIS. The next we talk to is the clearance delivery 118.55. Let's tune that one in. It does have an auto tune, which I am using, but it does that one to...
The SIDS and stars.
No problem, I'll do that in just a moment. So 118, off you go then. 118.55. It does do the auto tuning for you once you get going and puts it into the standby, which is quite useful. 118.55 is clearance delivery, so we can put that one in box 1 there. We'll do the SIDS and stars. Our co-pilot is on the walk around at the moment. VTSP, VTBD, 350. We're going to up the cost index a little bit here. And we're going to have a look at the flight plan. VTSP, departure from runway 27. And we're going off on an Gevi 1 Bravo. Insert that. And the other end, we're expecting a Saba 3 Alpha into 2-1 right. Saba 3 Alpha. That's the one.
สวัสดีค่ะท่านผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านขอต้อนรับสายการบินไทยเอเชียบนเครื่องบิน Airbus 320 neo ค่ะเที่ยวบินนี้ FP131 ซึ่งจะเดินทางไปยังท่าอากาศยานดอนเมืองกรุงเทพมหานครประเทศไทยค่ะในเที่ยวบินนี้เรามีกัปตันสิทธิศักดิ์นักบินผู้ช่วยคณินเป็นผู้ควบคุมการบิน
A lot of stuff going on here. That's the Thai announcements going on in the cabin. We've also got ATC chatter going on in the background for this region of the world. So that's what you're hearing in the background. Okay. We can turn those up and down here using Fenix to GSX. So all of these controls are working. This one controls ATC, so in our case, Say Intentions. This one controls the level of the sim. This one controls our chatter you're hearing in the background. This one controls GSX. And this one is the intercom with the cabin. This one here, the announcements you can hear going on in the background. So all of these are working, and that's what Fenix to GSX adds, which the initial GSX integration of the Fenix does not do. That's why I still use Fenix to GSX for that, particularly useful in VR. So I'm going to turn that down a little bit there. Right, so let's bring our co-pilot back in from the walk around.
Walk around completed.
They can get on now, and we can talk to Phuket clearance delivery and ask for our IFR clearance to Bangkok. Phuket clearance delivery. Hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor with you at gate 11. Information Quebec requesting IFR clearance to Bangkok.
Thai Asia 84 Victor Phuket clearance information Quebec is correct. Cleared to Don Mueang via the IGV-1. Bravo departure then is filed. Departure runway 27. Initial climb to 13,000. Departure on 120.7. Squawk 3611.
1005. Checked. FMGS.
We're cleared to Don Mueang via the IGEV-1 Bravo departure, then as filed. Departure runway 27, initial climb to 13,000, departure on 120.7 and the squawk 3611, Thai Asia 84 Victor.
84 Victor, read that correct. Expect runway 27, contact ground on 121.9er.
Expect runway 27 and contact ground on 121.9 at Thai Asia 84 Victor. So as you can see, you get all of the readbacks in text, which is very helpful as you're learning the program so that you know what to read back, which is really cool. If you look here, the assigned transponder says 3611 and it's in red. That means we haven't set it, so we can come down here and set our transponder to 3611, when eventually that should turn green to show us that we have assigned our transponder correctly. There you go. And we can now contact ground on 121.9 as we get ready. That puts that in the standby here. As you can see, 121.9 goes into the standby. Great, that's all good. Let's see how our first officer is doing and how our passengers are doing. We've got 104 boarded, which is good. And it looks like the baggage handlers have gone as well, so that's really good. We're ready for our before start flow.
Navigating before start flow.
Disengage Air Asia members, welcome aboard Air Asia on up.
Cabin crew, boarding is now complete. Any remaining ground crew, please leave the aircraft.
Great, that's all good. So we can do make sure our init pages are done. Send to MCDU 53.9 30.7.
Before start checklist. Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff.
53.9 30.7.
4, 6, VR.
5.7 tons.
4,
Done.
6, V2, 1, 5, 4.
Checked.
Doors.
Closed.
Beacon lights.
On.
Before start checklist complete.
There is our load sheet. We'll calculate our V speeds. 125, 135, 135. That's sorted. 125, 135, 135. So we can prepare for pushback, which we do here. That alerts GSX that we're ready. And that should get the whole sequence going. Here comes the pushback crew. Very leisurely stroll towards the aircraft.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Another AirAsia aircraft there, waiting to depart. Slightly different livery from ours today. Okay.
Check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
I've noticed that at the moment, Say Intentions is not giving a pushback direction. That's in the works to be fixed. Our pushback direction, I would imagine, would be to push facing north. So we'll do that ourselves in just a moment. QNH1005, that is set by our first officer. Very good. Gevi 1 Bravo, there we are. So here we are, being asked for nose left facing north on taxi T2, taxi at T3, I think that's correct. So we'll ask for push and start from Phuket ground, 121.9, that's selected. Phuket ground, hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor, stand 11, request push and start.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Phuket ground, pushback and start approved facing west. Information Quebec is current.
Interesting, facing west. Well, we can't face west, so that's not working. This is all down to basically whether the Say Intentions can pull the correct data from Microsoft's runway and taxi information, although they're working more with Navigraph stuff now and being able to clear this up a bit more, and also giving the facility to individual subscribers to change that if it's wrong and for it then to be uploaded to the server. So that's a brilliant piece of work so that people can gradually fix the airports, which is really good news. So facing west. Push and start approved, facing west, information Quebec. We're actually going to face north, as we've just said. Okay, so we're going to go face north.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Engine start flow.
Starting engines. Starting engine 2.
Okay.
Interesting driving by the crew there. Looks like we've been given the learner driver on the pushback tug today by GSX. Unless it saw that air. Oh, this is interesting.
Engine
Oh
2
dear.
started.
That's going to make the news.
Starting engine 1.
A wild pushback from the Air Asia aircraft there. Unless our tug saw that aircraft coming, which I would find unlikely. I didn't think GSX understood FSLTL traffic, but you never know. Looks like it's corrected itself now anyway and pushing into the right place. At the moment, Say Intentions doesn't do traffic on the ground. That will come, but it does do traffic in the air, so it will warn you of targets as you're actually airborne, which is interesting. And of course their ideal goal, which they're working towards, is to get the traffic on the ground incorporated as well. But it's an early days, as
Engine 1
I mentioned.
started.
It's great. It's all started.
To fasten, insert the metal tip into the buckle and tighten the belt by pulling on the buckle stick the metal flap.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
All engines stable.
So it looks like we're going to be taxiing via Papa
Mask like this automatically drop from the compartment
up to the hold point.
Hold the mask firmly towards you. Place the mask over your nose and mouth with the headband tightly around your head and breathe.
Nice evening in Phuket.
Unlocking gear.
Place your own mask first before assisting others under your care. Your life vest is under your...
Just to confirm, what we're looking at here in front of us is the Say Intentions panel for VR users, which it comes as standard, which is fantastic that they've included that, though the text does need to be a lot bigger. So that's what we're looking at there. This is the app that 2D users would see, and I've brought that into the cockpit there with open Kneeboard. So that's what you would see if you weren't in VR. So you can see there, you can see all the frequencies at the top, your flight ID, destination, and the last readbacks, so you can have a look and check if you've missed something. That's what that's all about.
During evacuation, leave your hand luggage.
There goes Mr. Pushback Man. Very good, all done. So we will now do our after start flow.
Starting after start flow.
The nearest exit as indicated.
Phuket ground, Thai Asia 84 Victor, request taxi.
Flow completed.
Smoking is prohibited on all Air Asia flights. Thank you.
ทางคุณมีเกียรติค่ะนี่คือประกาศพิเศษค่ะเมื่อเกิดเหตุฉุกเฉินกรุณาถอดหน้ากาก
Thai Asia 84 Victor taxi to runway 27 at your discretion.
รอบศีรษะให้นั่งทางนี้ค่ะดึงหน้ากากลงมาถูกออกซิเจน
Runway 27 at our discretion, Thai Asia 84 Victor. That means it's not aware of the taxiways here yet. So this would be one that would need to be fixed. Quite a simple fix actually. I may do that myself. There's not many taxiways here,
Thai
so
Asia 84 Victor runway 27 at your discretion.
taxi to runway 27 at our discretion, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Okay. Taxi flow.
Taxi flow. Clear on the right.
Clear on the left.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a short while, the cabin light will be dimmed.
Flow
If you wish
completed.
to read, please switch on the reading light.
Taxi checklist is next.
Taxi checklist. Flight control test.
There's our page.
Down. Neutral. Up. Neutral. Full left. Neutral. Full right. Rudder full right. Rudder full left.
Checked.
Brake test.
Let's get moving here and do the brake test. Braking.
Checked.
Flaps.
Set.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Radar and PWS. Engine
Set.
mode.
Set.
Ecam memo.
Takeoff no blue.
Taxi checklist complete.
We have one blue, which is the cabin, which hopefully will come back in just a moment. So I'm pretty sure when I did this with Beyond ATC, it did understand the taxiway, so that's interesting.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
There we go. Thank you. Beyond ATC did have these taxiways, so they're clearly using different methods of getting that data. Good thing about both programs, actually, Beyond ATC and Say Intentions, that they both got great discords where the developers are there every day, pretty much. And if you suggest stuff, it tends to get added very fast. So I know I've been talking to Brian, the developer of Say Intentions, and he's been incredibly helpful and forthcoming. I think these devs never sleep, so fair play to you. The ATC voices you hear in Say Intentions are what they're calling, I think, curated voices. In other words, they've worked on them very hard to make them sound natural. Hence, you're not hearing accents as you do in Beyond ATC. Again, I've spoken to Brian, the developer, about that, and he says that he can switch back on the kind of standard voices for areas of the world where they haven't fine-tuned the actual accent yet, if you see what I mean. So you'll get a lower quality in terms of the what they actually say, but you will get the regional accents. I think that'd be a very good halfway house until they manage to get the whole world sorted. For me, I think it's much more immersive to get the local accents. For example, when we used Beyond ATC, you may remember last time, we had Thai controllers here in Phuket, so that's a little thing which they're looking at and are going to switch back on by the look of it in Say Intentions. Hope that makes some kind of sense. Looks busy. 1 on the runway, 1 holding, 2 on final there. We're going to call the ground and tell them we're ready for departure ahead of the hold point. Otherwise, they'll wait till we get to the handoff point. Again, another discussion going on. That's the way they do it in America, it would appear. And it's something that I'm certainly not used to. I would get handed off. Expect to be a handoff. And again, Say Intentions are going to switch that feature back on so it does it in terms of distance from the runway threshold. That will be, again, a very useful addition to have back. Beyond ATC does hand you over from ground to tower as you approach the hold. So let's try a ready for departure and see if we do get a handoff. Thai Asia 84 Victor is ready for departure.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, contact tower on 118.1.
Tower 118.1, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Oh, that works a treat. Fantastic. Very good indeed. You'll notice, by the way, those who may have tried Say Intentions before, that the response times from the AI is way faster now. That's about kind of 4 or 5 seconds maximum, which has been improved dramatically only a couple of weeks ago with some change to ChatGPT, which I don't profess to understand, but it certainly works. So there's pretty good response time now of about 4 to 5 seconds, which is not far off what a normal ATC would be. Okay, so tower on 118.1, which has been put in the standby here. We'll switch to tower. It's funny that, isn't it? It's a natural reaction when you look down for some reason. I don't know why, I do it all the time. When I look down, I tend to veer off for some reason on the taxiway. Okay, so there's an aircraft landing and another one on final. That a Bangkok Airways ATR. Looks like it. This is interesting. This big boy in front of us here is doing a backtrack, which is standard here. So he's going to have to get a move on to get ahead of that landing aircraft. I predict a go around in this boy's future up on the final there. Going to be a close thing. I think there's going to be a go around here. He's rolling. Is he going to go? That's what I call a late landing clearance. Oh no, it's a go around as predicted. Is it a go around? Well, he's rolling. Gotta be a go around. Yep, there we go. Very good. Thai Asia 84 Victor ready for departure.
Thai Asia 84 Victor Phuket Tower, winds 220 at 5 runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27, Thai Asia 84 Victor. So, do our backtrack.
Flow completed.
Approaching 27.
Line up checklist. Takeoff runway 27. Confirm the runway, Captain.
Confirm.
TCAS.
Set.
Pax.
Set.
Cabin crew prepare for takeoff.
Notified.
Line up checklist complete.
Okay. Nothing on final.
Approaching 27. On runway 27.
Okay, we're ready to go. So, spoilers armed, flaps 1. Landing lights are on. It's a flex takeoff. So advance the throttles to 50%.
Man flex. SRS.
Thrust set.
Checked.
V1. Retain. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
15 degrees. Turn this down a bit, easy to see. There we are.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, contact departure.
Acceleration altitude.
Contact departure, Thai Asia 84 Victor.
Autopilot 1 on. Acceleration flow.
That's an Americanism. Contact departure. Initially we were
Thai
given
Asia
departure.
84 Victor, roger, contact departure.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, contact departure on 120.7, thank you. That's something which Americans do, and we're always given the frequency to hand off to, so that's something you need to write down at the moment. But you can see it's still left in the message trail there, so 120.7. Departure, hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor, 3,000 feet.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Phuket approach, radar contact. Turn right heading 005 vectors to SP604, then own navigation.
Turn right heading 005 degrees, vectors to SP604, then own navigation, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Interesting. So we're getting a direct there to SP604. We could have just gone direct, I guess. Interesting. Gives us something to do, I guess. Okay, so we're cleaned up here, flaps are up. Beautiful night in Phuket as we climb out.
ขอเรียนให้ท่านทราบว่าทุกเที่ยวบินของสายการบินแอร์เอเชียเป็นเที่ยวบินปลอดบุหรี่กรุณางดสูบบุหรี่รวมทั้งบุหรี่ไฟฟ้าภายในห้องโดยสาร
Talking about non-smoking now and the cabin announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign is now off. For your safety,
It isn't actually, but it will be shortly.
Whenever you are seated, please be reminded.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, climb and maintain flight level 170.
Climb and maintain flight level 170, Thai Asia 84 Victor.
All forms of smoking, including e-cigarettes in the toilet, will trigger an alarm and may result in a fine. Thank you.
Very good. So everything working well so far, touch wood.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Landing lights off. Nose light off. And the seatbelt signs will now come off in another couple of hundred feet.
Transition altitude.
Very good. Standard. There go the seatbelts. All good. Vectors to SP604, then own navigation. So, okay. Well, we're not exactly heading towards SP604 at the moment, but we're not far away. I'm assuming we could do a direct to SP604 now. She won't be too bothered.
Managed mode.
Very good. Currently cleared to flight level 170. Our cruise is 350.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, climb and maintain flight level 200.
Climb and maintain flight level 200, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Does tend to give you short step climbs as opposed to all the way up to cruise, which is good. Again, gives you something to do, and it's nice to have the interaction. There are some times though when I wish it would give me more of a climb, but I guess this is for when traffic comes in. It'll be able to control you around other traffic and keep me out of their way.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, climb and maintain flight level 250.
Flight level 250, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Interesting, there appear to be two controllers on this frequency, both working it.
Thai 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Oh, I see what it is now. It's a kind of broken up voice. That's very funny.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, contact Bangkok Control on 125.7.
Bangkok Control 125.7, Thai Asia 84 Victor, thank you. 125.7 has been put in the standby. Bangkok Control, hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor, passing flight level 185.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Bangkok Control, good evening. Thai Asia 84 Victor, Bangkok Control, climb and maintain flight level 270.
Flight level 270, Thai Asia 84 Victor. So there we are, that's a kind of 1,000 feet step climb there. I feel it's being a little fussy in that. I'm not entirely sure that would happen in the real world. But again, this is all work in progress. Our route takes us through the centre of southern Thailand, across to the other coast, popping out there and down towards Dom Muang, passing Hua Hin on our left hand side. So far, so good. Famous last words.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Flight level 320, Thai Asia 84 Victor. So again, you'll see all of the instructions you've been given here appearing in the VR panel. So you can read all of those if you've missed any. And this is the 2D panel that you would see. You can spool that back and see the earlier ones. It's fascinating how this works with AI. The bottom there where the little yellow headphone symbol is, that's what it thinks I said. Flat level 320 Thai Age 84 Victor. It somehow then worked out that actually that meant flight level 320 Thai Age 84 Victor. So it's very clever. I wouldn't have thought I pronounced it that badly, but there you go. It just shows that AI is a wonderful thing when used in the correct way. Looking for our final cruise level shortly, 350, we're up to 32 currently. So one of the interesting things comparing the two AI programs, Beyond ATC and Say Intentions, is that Beyond ATC, as you saw in my last video, works very, very well indeed. But it's very much on rails. Somebody described it as, I think it's a very good way of putting it. In other words, you can't really get surprised by it or ask it anything it's not expecting. That's not the case with Say Intentions. They're changing it all the time to make, for example, the controller's voices have pauses and ums and ahs in them and things like that to be more natural. But you can ask it some things that are out of the ordinary. I've heard some people ask for medical assistance at when you're at the destination airport. Well, in fact, we could try that. Why don't we try that? Let's see if we can tell them we have a sick passenger on board.
Thai 84 Victor, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Oh, 350 all the way up. Flight level 350, Thai Asia 84 Victor, thank you. So we're going straight to cruise, which is good. Let's try saying we have a medical problem on board and requesting an ambulance at the other end. Let's see if it understands. Thai Asia 84 Victor, we have a passenger with a medical problem on board. Request an ambulance on landing at Bangkok. See what it makes of that.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, roger, an ambulance will be arranged on landing at Bangkok.
Thank you, Thai Asia 84 Victor. That's pretty impressive, to be fair. That's pretty impressive. Wow. That's what I mean about this one not being on rails as such. Let's try and get a direct now to Egubo, shall we? Now, do I pronounce it Egubo or do I do it in phonetics? Let's do phonetics. Thai Asia 84 Victor, request direct Echo Golf Uniform Bravo Oscar. See what happens there.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, direct to Egubo, approved.
Direct Egubo approved, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Again, quite impressive. It even got the pronunciation. Very good. Direct 2. Done. Now, the biggest difference in the two programs, of course, is that Beyond ATC is a one-off payment unless you want to add more premium voice time, which you don't have to. You can just buy it and then use it. Say Intentions is a monthly charge because, of course, the whole thing is being driven by AI. Brian, the developer, gave a talk the other day on his YouTube channel to say that
84 Victor, contact Bangkok Control on 118.35.
Bangkok Control 118.35, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Let's just do this first and then we'll continue that discussion. Bangkok Control, hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor, climbing to flight level 350.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Bangkok Control, good evening.
Good, that's good. So yeah, as I was saying, the monthly payment for Say Intentions is to cover the AI voices. Now, Brian was saying on a YouTube chat the other day that because voice prices are coming down, that would mean that they could offer the monthly payment at a lower rate, and anyone who'd paid a year in advance, which some people have, would get compensated for any difference in the two, which I thought was very, very fair. So it should be coming down in price as the AI becomes cheaper and cheaper, so that's quite nice. That is the big difference between the two programs. So you're shelling out quite a bit of money over a year for Say Intentions. If you have it, great. If you don't, then you would be better sticking to Beyond ATC. So we're at our cruise level of flight level 350 and we've just passed Egubo, which is here on the map. Weather's socked in a little bit. We've got some lower cloud, and just looking at the forecast for Bangkok now, we've got wind 2308 8 knots, all the nines, little bit of rain, few at 2000, broken at 100. So that's our current Bangkok meter. Looking at the aircraft window, we can just about make out the lights of the ground, so a little bit more socked in than what we had on departure, but nothing to write home about. Still on schedule for Bangkok Dom Muang, runway 21 right.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, contact Bangkok Control on 135.5.
Contact Bangkok Control on 135.5, Thai Asia 84 Victor, thank you. Bangkok Control, hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor with you, flight level 350.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Bangkok Control, good evening.
So we're approaching our top of descent, 33 miles to go to top of descent. And Say Intentions takes the descent path from the sim brief plan that's been made, which doesn't necessarily tie in with the actual star perfectly, so there could be some discrepancies in terms of descent. So let's see what happens. I noticed a discussion on the Say Intentions forum today about that sometimes you get a descent which doesn't seem to match the
Victor, Bangkok Control, expect the ILS runway Don Mueang via the Saba 3, Alpha arrival. Just a heads up. IFR approaches are still in development and might not work quite right just yet. We're working on improvements every day, so buckle up for a bit of a bumpy arrival.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, you can't say you weren't warned. Expecting the ILS runway 21 left approach into Don Mueang via the Saba 3 Alpha arrival, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Yeah, so let's see what happens on the descent. We may be given the descent late, let's see. As it mentions there, IFR approach is still in development and they're working on improvements every day. I can certainly testify to that. I'm on the Discord and in touch with the team there, particularly Brian, the main developer, who is absolutely awesome and is trying so...
84 Victor, descend via Saba 3 Alpha for the ILS runway 21 left approach into Don Mueang. QNH 1006.
Descend via the Saba 3 Alpha for the ILS 21 left into Don Mueang and the QNH 1006 Thai Asia 84 Victor. So he's told us to descend via the star. Let's see if it allows us to descend all the way down on that star, because my experience in the past is that's not been the case for the reasons I've just mentioned. So, Sabai 3 arrival, which is here. Sabai in Thai, a very often used word, meaning well, or we'd say Sabai D, how are you? Can also mean relaxed. So, Sabai arrival. Let's hope it is a relaxing arrival. No side of the ground now. We are passing, I would think, yeah, Hua Hin is to our left. That's where the Thai royal family used to go for their holidays. It's a seaside resort, very nice it is too. There's Hua Hin. And we're just passing it now, but we can't see a thing at the moment. We've planned our approach into Don Mueang, 56.5 tons our landing weight. A tip to get the landing weight, by the way, for those that don't know where to find it. If you go to the fuel prediction page on the Phoenix and add your zero fuel weight to the ending fuel on board, that is your landing weight. So 53.9 plus 2.6, that's 56.5, which is what we've entered in here. With a dry runway and a low water brake, that gives us a landing pretty much halfway down the runway 21 right, which is perfect for us. Should be a nice easy taxi from there. So we're approaching our top of descent, so I'm going to commence our descent on the star, as I've been advised to do. And the bottom end of that star, well, let's call it a roker, because a roker is the start of the ILS, I believe. Let's just check that there. Yep, there's a roker up there. We could go all the way down to 2.6, but let's go to 5,000 at a roker for now. So 5,000 coming up. And let's begin a managed descent. There we go. On the way down. There's our absolutely minuscule aircraft symbol. I've got to ask Navigraph why that's so small, whether it's something I'm not setting correctly. I don't think it is. If I look at the settings here on the left. Interface, is it that? No, it's not. It's not the map scale. Doesn't seem to make any difference. Still does it? Let's have a look. Normal. No, doesn't seem to make any difference because they're not on the map. We're on the chart. So I wonder if they can do something about that, because it's absolutely tiny there. As our minuscule aircraft heads towards Waypoint Hotel and then Sabai. We keep out of the way of Suvarnabhumi Airport, which is here. That's the main newer international airport. We're going to be routed to the west of Bangkok and then up to the north, round via Oroka in 421. That's our approach tonight, so let's see how Say Intentions handles that approach. And there we are, our first sight of the lights of Bangkok. Beautiful. Sprawling, huge city. as we head up middle of the water here, the Gulf of Thailand I think that's called, and in towards Vasco and then up. The airport itself, we've talked about this before on another stream. This Don Muang was the old and only international airport in Bangkok until they built Suvarnabhumi, which is here. It's now used, Don Muang, for mainly low-cost carriers like the one we're on tonight, Air Asia, amongst many others. So that's where we're going tonight. It's quite straightforward airfield to navigate around, unlike its successor Suvarnabhumi. So only the two runways, 21 and 03, that's where the golf course is, in the middle. You'll see that on my last video. We're coming in on 21 right, and 21 right means an easy taxi. So we'll be going to be at the terminal here, 21 right into here, taxi via exit via Michael Papa probably. So a nice easy one for us. ILS Zulu, which we've planned for, Aroka at 5,000, ED111 at 2,600, and in for the ILS. Go around procedure, climb on track 209 to BD188, that's straight ahead pretty much, and then turn right to BD177, Hollier at 3,000 and hold. Okay, looking good. One of the things I mentioned about Say Intentions in its current form, it can't control ground traffic as yet, though that's the ultimate goal, and the team are working towards that. But it can, unlike the other ones around, point out traffic that's in the air that's a threat to you. We may hear some of those calls as we're entering quite a busy airspace here, so let's see if Say Intentions picks up any airborne traffic which is potentially a threat. See how we get on with that. There's one here which I can see out of the window. Let's see if it spots that and makes a call. It may not be a threat. That's obviously very early days calling out traffic, and it's quite vague about the, doesn't tell you the type, but it tells you the altitude. So a good start. What a day it will be when we've got the likes of Say Intentions and Beyond ATC actually talking about real traffic and controlling it around you. Absolutely amazing that's going to be. To be fair, this is already quite outstanding as a piece of work. So we're continuing our descent now, past flight level 200. Let's bring up Don Muang, ground charts. (10.9) is the airport info. So there's our arrival runway here, 21 right. Wow, look at that. Extraordinary.
H1007. Arriving and departing runways 21 left, 21 right.
That's the ATIS.
In use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery on 127.7. Advise on initial contact. You have information Victor.
Information Victor.
Airport information Victor. 1230 Zulu.
That's COM2, which I had tuned to 126.4 from the chart. Here we are, ATIS 126.4. I put that in on COM2, and we had COM2 turned on, so we heard it there coming in. So we've received information Victor. Great. So far, so so good. Amazing how far simulation has come. So we're going to do a right turn at BD 116. Here we go, which is almost a downwind leg. Then a roker will be what is almost a base leg. Descending nicely. Get the ILSs up. Started our descent flow. That's good. Ominous looking cloud. And I think we can probably activate the approach phase at this point and confirm it. VAP 133. We don't have our barrow in there. Let's get that in. I think it's 220. 220. Yep, it is 220. So let's put that in. 220 goes in into the barrow. So we've got a VAP of 133. A little fuzzy there, but there's a contact Bangkok approach on 119.1. Bangkok approach on 119.1, Thai Asia 84 Victor. A little blip there for some reason, but we've got the radio call. Bangkok approach, hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor with you, passing flight level 130.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Bangkok approach, roger.
Transition altitude checked.
So we've now changed to local QNH 1007. 240 knots. I'm going to slow the aircraft down a little bit more than that, give us some manual control over it. 220 knots. Means we can get our first stage of flap out shortly. And here we are on the chart, still minuscule, but we're here. This is effectively a downwind leg.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Landing lights are on, nose lights on, seat belts are on.
At our destination. If you wish to use
that's the cabin announcement.
Landing, you may do so at this time before the seatbelt sign is on. Thank you.
ท่านผู้มีเกียรติครับอีกประมาณ30นาทีเราจะนำท่านลงสู่ท่าอากาศยานปลายทางสำหรับท่านที่ประสงค์จะใช้ห้องน้ำท่านสามารถใช้ได้ในช่วงเวลานี้จนกว่าสัญญาณแจ้งการเก็บกักที่นั่งของท่านจะสว่าง
I'm going to bit of speed brake here and get the aircraft slowed down.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your pilot speaking. From 5 minutes from now, we will start descent to our destination. Expect arrival time.
And we can take our first stage of flap.
4:15 a.m. 4:15 a.m. And the weather at destination temperature is 28 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. We hope you enjoy our 7-hour flight. Thank you for choosing our airline. Have a good day at Bangkok.
And we'll do a VS descent here, get us down so we don't end up high.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Bangkok, approach traffic at your 1 o'clock less than 1 mile. At flight level 10,000 feet, type unknown.
There we go, there's a traffic call out. And there is the bit of traffic. Very good. Unless you're referring to that one here. 2 bits of traffic. Flight level 10,000 feet, well, we can forgive them that, but there's the kind of rudimentary traffic call-outs.
84 Victor Bangkok approach, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend 6,000, Thai Asia 84 Victor. So he's going to hold us at 6,000, which is going to probably put us high for a little while. That's okay, we're under control. That traffic may well be headed to Dom Muang as well. I'm going to slow us further. 200 knots. Parking stands, let's have a look.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, descend and maintain 4,000.
Descend 4,000, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Okay, down we go. Parking stand, let's go for parking 35, why not? See if we can get that one. Stand 35.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, I've got a delayed vector for you. Turn right heading 140 vectors for the ILS runway 21 left approach.
Turn right heading 140 degrees, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Okay.
2500, turn right heading 135.
Descend altitude 2,500 and right heading 135, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Okay, it's all happening now. 2,500. And
Thai Asia 84 Victor, 12 miles from CI21L. Turn right heading 170, descend and maintain 1500 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 21 left approach.
Turn right heading 170, descend and maintain 1,500. Cleared for the ILS runway 21 left approach, Thai Asia 84 Victor. 21 left approach. That's not where we're headed. That's change of plan. Is that my mistake that I missed that?
Thai Asia 84 Victor, contact Don Muang Tower on 118.1.
Tower 118.1, Thai Asia 84 Victor. Okay, it's certainly all happening now. Let's get down. And let's go direct to there.
Managed mode.
Let's get the speed down. 180 knots. We can arm the localizer. Take another stage of flap.
Flaps 2.
There's another aircraft in front of us. And Tower 1181. That all happened very fast. Tower, hello, Thai Asia 84 Victor with you, just becoming established, 21 left.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, Don Muang Tower, winds 190 at 7. Runway 21 left, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 21 left, Thai Asia 84 Victor.
Approach checklist. Briefing.
Completed.
Barrow reference.
Checked.
Passenger signs.
On.
Minimums. 200.
Checked.
Auto brakes.
Set.
Engine mode. Flaps 3.
Trying to get us slowed down here in time.
Speed brake armed. 607.
Checked.
Go around altitude.
Set.
Cabin crew prepare for landing.
Notified.
Ecam memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
We're going to intercept the glide quite late here. It's alright, all good. Full flap.
Flaps full.
So we've got spoilers armed, flaps are full, gear is down, and landing lights are on. We've been cleared to land to 1 left. To 1 left means we'll vacate probably at the end Sierra, so we can roll all the way to the end. On the glide, on the localizer, speed is good, and we're ready to land. Wind is from the left very slightly at only 5 knots. So let's roll all the way to the end to Sierra. That all happened very fast. Let's lose the autopilot. My aeroplane. Match the thrust. My auto throttle. Slightly high. We can land long, we're going to the end.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Spoilers. Diesel.
All the way to the end of vacate at Sierra. Nice landing.
Manual braking.
Thai Asia 84 Victor, welcome to Dunwang. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Ground 121.9er. Thank you, Thai Asia 84 Victor.
Initiating after landing checks.
There's a stop bar.
Flow completed.
Yes, we have just landed at Runway International Airport, Bangkok, Thailand. The local time now is 4:45.
After landing checklist. Radar and PWS. Off. After landing checklist complete.
Okay, 121.9 for ground. See what happens. Parking, probably we won't get the stand or any particularly effective taxi clearances. That's one of the things being worked on as we speak, but let's see. We want stand 35, so I'm going to actually tell GSX that. So we have somebody waiting for us when we arrive. Gate 35. Available soon. Yeah.
And for your information once again, the local time now is a quarter past.
Bangkok ground, hello. Thai Asia 84 Victor with you. Just vacated runway 21 left at Sierra.
Thank you for flying with Asia and have a great time here in Bangkok. ขอบคุณค่ะท่านผู้มีเกียรติค่ะเราได้นำท่านมาถึงท่าอากาศยานดอนเมืองกรุงเทพมหานครประเทศไทยเป็นที่เรียบร้อยแล้วค่ะเวลาท้อง
Thai Asia 84 Victor Don Moyang ground taxi to parking at your discretion. Good day.
Yeah. Discretion. Parking at our discretion. Thai Asia 84 Victor, thank you. Okay, so we didn't get a tank instruction. That's something that's being worked on now to fix all the taxiways on airfields. In fact, Say Intentions have a great program now where people who want to can actually do that for themselves and upload it for other people to use, which is rather nice. So, let's have a look where we're going. 35 is what we said, which is there. It's just past intersection India. Bit of a taxi. Make sure there's nobody on that runway. Crossing it now. It is clear. Well, the IFR approach went pretty well, actually, I thought. Bear in mind here, this is all work in progress and a Herculean task to get all this fixed, but getting it fixed they are, and working very hard on this every day, Say Intentions and the team. I'm absolutely staggered that it's this good, to be honest with you. Okay, so right turn here and taxi all the way down. Till we get to intersection India, which is just after Juliet. There we go, India and Juliet, past India, and that's a left turn into parking stand 35. So that's interesting. I didn't spot that runway had changed. That's why it was a bit hectic towards the end, but we got there. Oh, that was my fault, you see. That was absolutely my fault, because they did tell us it was the ILS runway 21 left approach. That was complete and utter pilot error there. It wasn't a late change by any stretch. So that rushing around at the end there was entirely self-made, nothing to do with Say Intentions. So getting close now. This is Mike. They're using both runways here by the look of it. There's an aircraft landing on 21 right. Juliet coming up. 41, 43, 45, 35. We go down Hotel, actually, which is the next one along. Very helpful that the buildings here are labelled with the jetway numbers. So that's our space there, which looks like there's an AI in it to me. So let's see if we can get rid of that. Done. Yep, it's clear now. So it's next left and first left. There's Hotel, which is correct. Hotel, and then to stand 35 first on the left. Label on the side of the building, as I mentioned. And 35 is this one. Da Nang International Airport. Should have our little GSX man waiting for us, which we do. Bit right. And stop. Okay, parking flow please. Engines will come off.
120.5, FedEx 5393, good day.
And the jetway should start to move. There she goes. So there we are, that completes our flight tonight into Bangkok from Phuket using Say Intentions AI. As mentioned at the start of this, it's not the cheapest solution, but it's certainly one that seems to be... I'll let her do the checklist first.
Engines. Off. Wing lights. Off. Fuel pumps. Off. Parking checklist complete.
It's not the cheapest option right now. The prices are coming down as AI voices come down in price, but it certainly seems to be the one that's going to become more flexible in the future because it's not on rails as much as potentially Beyond ATC is. I think both products have their merits, depending on what you're looking for really. As you saw earlier on in the video, you can ask Say Intentions some quite interesting things and it will at least reply because it's AI. Whereas you've kind of got to know the responses for Beyond ATC, which is good. It's a fine product and I'm enjoying using them both. But both developers are very active on their Discords and are desperate to improve their product as the days go on. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's giving you a little insight into what Say Intentions does. And thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the videos. And thank you very much. And we'll see you again next time for another Wake Vortex video. Take care.